Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. All right, so go ahead and log on to starfall.com. And then once you're on there, go ahead and make your way to our calendar. Once you have our calendar pulled up, go ahead and press play.
Yippee! It's April 2020. Let's make a calendar.
All right, so go ahead and click that sparkly green arrow in the bottom right corner and do the days of the week.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
All right.
What day of the week is it today?
What day of the week is it today? Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Great job! Today is Wednesday, April 29th, 2020.
Okay, and then go ahead and click that green arrow in the bottom right corner. And now we can
Fill in the missing day and date.
fill in the missing day and date. So we just talked about how it's Wednesday, so go ahead and drag Wednesday over.
Wednesday.
And if yesterday was the 28th, that means today is the 29th.
29th. Great job!
All right, and then once you have those filled in, go ahead and click that arrow in the bottom right corner. And now we can
Mark any special days this month.
mark any special days this month. So I'm going to, as I normally do, start with the official holidays. So Wednesday, April 1st, that was April Fool's Day. And that was the day that you hopefully got to play some lighthearted and fun pranks on your family and friends. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, because that was April Fool's Day. Okay, now I'm going to jump down to that next week and go to Thursday, April 9th. So this was the Jewish holiday of Passover. And we have some things on our Google Classroom about Passover if you missed what that holiday is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Thursday, April 9th, 2020, because that was Passover. Okay. And now on Friday, April 10th, that was the Christian holiday of Good Friday. And that's the day that Christians remember that Jesus died on the cross, which is why there's a cross picture in there. And usually that tells us that that is the start of Easter weekend. So Friday, April 10th, 2020 was Good Friday. So I'm going to put a smiley face on that. And then, like I said, so that usually tells us it's Easter weekend, which means that Sunday, April 12th, 2020 was Easter. And this was another Christian holiday. And this is the day where they remember that Jesus rose from the dead. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Sunday, April 12th, 2020, because that was Easter. Okay, and then there's no holidays our Easter week, so I'm going to jump down to the next week. And on Wednesday, April 22nd, that was my favorite holiday in April, Earth Day. And remember, this is the day where all around the world people spread information and awareness on how to keep our planet healthy and happy for years to come. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 22nd, because that was Earth Day. Okay, and then last Friday, so we talked quite a bit about this holiday. There is a Brain Pop video that talks about this holiday back in March when we first started our Google Classroom, so you might have to scroll down a little bit, but you can also go back to last Friday's posts and learn more about this Muslim holiday of Ramadan. And remember, this is a month-long observance or celebration. And so this Friday, April 24th, 2020, just marks the beginning of that month-long holiday. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Friday, April 24th, 2020, because that was when Ramadan begins. Okay, and then on Friday, April 10th, so that was a holiday, but that was also a no school day. So I'm going to put some stars on Friday, April 10th as well as my smiley face, because that was a no school travel day. And then another no school day was that Monday, so Easter Monday, so Monday the 13th, 2020. So I'm going to put some stars on Monday the 13th because we had no school that day as well. And then I would like to recognize one more day this month. It is a friend's birthday. And so if we look on our chart, so January, February, March, April. So our friend Harry had a birthday on Sunday, April 19th. So I'm going to put a piece of birthday cake on Sunday, April 19th, 2020, because that was Harry's 13th birthday. Okay, so I am going to be done with marking my special days, but you can continue to mark any other special days you would like. So I'm going to go ahead and click that green arrow in the bottom right corner. And now I can
choose a picture for your calendar.
Choose a picture for my calendar. So I think I'm going to pick that cool planet picture because it's really colorful and pretty cool looking. So this is going to be my picture for today, but you can pick whichever picture you would like. And then once you have your picture chosen, go ahead and click that green arrow in the bottom right corner. And hooray! So we finished calendar. So now we're going to go ahead and go up to the top and search into Google Chico weather so that we can learn about our weather today. Okay, and then remember, we always just use this first bit of information here. And so let's talk about our temperature first. So let's make sure we have a blue rectangle around temperature. So right here should have a blue rectangle. And then once you're on temperature, you can go ahead and click on Wednesday and make a blue box around Wednesday on the bottom here. So right there should be our blue box. And so when you have that box around Wednesday, so I'm going to draw it out. I have my box, and then I see WED, which is short for Wednesday. And then I see our weather picture, and it's one that we know very well. Seems to be the most common weather that we've had in April. It's that picture of the sun with a couple clouds partly covering it. So this is going to tell us what type of weather we're going to have today. And then I see our two temperatures. One's going to be our highest temperature of the day, and one's going to be our lowest. So the numbers that I'm seeing are 80, let me turn my brightness up, 86 degrees, and then 60 degrees. Okay, so if you have your blue box around Wednesday, it should look like this. So imagine this is a blue box. Then we have WED, which is short for Wednesday, the type of weather we're going to have today, and then our highest temperature and our lowest temperature. So, which one of these two temperatures is going to be our highest temperature of the day? 86 degrees or 60 degrees? So, if you watched morning meeting yesterday, or if you just know, 86 is going to be our highest temperature of the day. And we talked about it yesterday in our morning meeting when we compared and contrasted. So let's go ahead and find 86 on here. So we have 80, and then we have 85, and I know that 86 is one more than 85. So I'm just going to go up one more little dot here, and we are in that warm temperature range. So it will be warm today. Okay, so since 86 degrees is going to be our highest temperature of the day, that means that 60 degrees is going to be our lowest expected temperature today. So let's check out where that falls on here. And that should be easy because it's big and bold. So right here. So it's right in the middle of that cool temperature range. So tonight will most likely feel cooler than today. All right. So now that we have checked out our temperatures, let's go ahead and make a blue rectangle around precipitation right here. So we just did temperature, now we're going to do precipitation. You'll know you're there when you see your blue line. And this blue line looks familiar to the blue lines that we've been seeing, so it just looks kind of like this. So it's pretty steady, pretty straight across, which usually means that we are not going to get any precipitation today. But I'm going to double check right here. Let me turn down the brightness for you. Right here, where it says precipitation, humidity, and wind. We're going to look at precipitation and see what percentage is next to that word. So, precipitation, precipitation, and 0%. So our blue line was correct. We are not going to have any precipitation today. Okay, so now that we've looked at our temperature, our precipitation, let's go ahead and check out our wind speeds. So we want to make sure there is a blue rectangle around wind right here. So we did precipitation, we did temperature, we just did precipitation. Now we're going to do wind, and you'll know you're there when you see those arrows with different wind speeds. And so to figure out our average wind speed of today, we're going to go look at the top where it says wind, where we looked at for our precipitation information. So we have precipitation, humidity, and wind, and we're going to look at that speed that's right after the word wind. So WIND spells wind, and then I see 7 mph, or our wind will be 7 miles per hour. So our average wind speed is going to be 7 miles per hour. So that's not too crazy of a wind. It's kind of like a nice light breeze. So hopefully that'll maybe break up some of the heat today. Okay. And so now we're going to talk about our weather picture for today. So as I said, it's the one that we've seen the most often, like this. So, do we remember what type of weather this usually means? So if you said partly cloudy or mostly sunny, whichever one, those are interchangeable, you were correct. So it will be partly cloudy today. And I'm looking outside, and yeah, it looks pretty, you can see some of the sun, but yeah, the clouds are somewhat covering up that light. So it is partly cloudy out right now. Okay, so now that we've talked about Wednesday, today's weather, let's compare that to Thursday, tomorrow's weather. So let's make sure we have our blue box around Thursday right here. And we're just going to look at the weather picture and the two temperatures we see. So Thursday has a weather picture that's very similar to today's. It's the sun with some clouds partly covering, and then I see two temperatures for tomorrow. I see 83 degrees and 55 degrees. So let's take a look at our temperatures. So which one of these temperatures are going to be our highest temperature today? 83 degrees or 55 degrees? So if you said 83 degrees, you are correct. So that will be our highest temperature tomorrow. So we're going to see where that falls on here. So let's find 80, which is nice and big. And then we'll just count up 3 more because 80 plus 3 is 83. So 1, 2, 3, and we are still in that warm temperature range. So it will still be warm tomorrow. Okay, so now that we've looked at our temperature, our highest temperature for tomorrow, what weather picture did we just, or what type of weather did we just say that this picture represents? Yeah, so partly cloudy, or in this case it's saying mostly sunny, which those mean the same thing, so whatever you would like to call it. So it will be partly cloudy tomorrow as well. So now we're going to go ahead and do what we would do if we were in our classroom and write our information we found out about today and tomorrow. So we found out today will be a high of 86 and partly cloudy. And tomorrow will be a high of 83 and also partly cloudy. So today, high of 86 degrees and partly cloudy. Tomorrow, a high of 83 degrees and also partly cloudy. So there we go. Okay, so this is all we're going to do for weather today, but you can continue looking at weather information if you would like. I'm just going to go ahead and move on to our social story for today. So we are going to talk about taking turns when playing. I thought this would be a nice follow-up to the 2 social stories that we've had this week so far. So we talked about winning, and then we talked about losing, and now we're going to talk about taking turns when playing. So it kind of ties it together. So here we go, taking turns when playing. I love to play with my friends and with my sister. When I am playing with my friends, we play board games, and we play sports. We play inside with games, and we play outside with balls or with a jump rope. When I'm playing with my sister, we usually play cards, or sometimes we build with Legos. Playing with other people can be so much fun. The hard part about playing is taking turns. Taking turns means making sure everyone gets a fair chance to play. Taking turns means if we're having trouble sharing something, someone will have to use that item for a minute, and then the next person will get to use that item for a minute. That way, everyone gets a chance. Even though taking turns helps make our time together fair, I have a hard time with it. Sometimes I feel impatient when it's the other person's turn. I want to grab the toy or game from them. I wish it could be my turn the whole time. Sometimes it makes me not want to play with other people at all. When I am having a hard time taking turns, I close my eyes, take a few deep breaths, and I say to myself, it will be my turn soon. It can also help to set a timer. When I set a timer, I can make sure that the turns are really fair. Setting a timer also helps me see how soon my turn is coming. When I do a good job taking turns, it helps my friends and my sister see that I am fun and fair to play with. That makes them want to play with me more, and I always have fun playing with them in the end. Okay, so this hit on some important points. So I know this happens to all of us at times, even adults. Sometimes adults don't like taking turns either. But to be fair, if you're doing an activity with another person, it's the only fair thing to do is to take turns with that. And so this social story gave us some good strategies when we're feeling frustrated about having to take turns, because we all want it to be our turn all the time, right? I know I do sometimes. And so in order to cope with the frustration of having to wait sometimes, you can take a deep breath, take a few deep breaths, and then say something soothing to yourself, like remind yourself that it's going to be your turn soon. And if you're just patient enough, then you will get your turn. Or we do this often when we're in our classroom, right? If we're, say, the rocking chair, for instance. I know a lot of us love our rocking chair in our classroom, but there's only one rocking chair, so we usually have to take turns, and most of the time, you are all really great at doing this on your own. Getting a timer and setting it for, I don't know, like 2 minutes or whatever seems fair. Maybe you can talk to an adult about that, about what a fair time would be. And then let the other person know you're setting that timer, and then start the timer. That way when the timer goes off, you can say, hey, the timer went off, it's my turn now. If you would like another turn, you can set this timer, and we'll keep taking turns. And so I know we do that in our classroom. And that's a really, really great strategy, because that helps you, as it was saying in here, see how much longer it's going to be until it's your turn with that item. And in the end, this will help you cope with the frustration and be able to take turns with people in the future when you're using something like a game or a toy. And being able to take turns will make people want to play with you or spend time with you. But if you don't know how to take turns or don't know how to handle that wait time in between when the other person's using that item or toy or something, then people are probably not likely going to want to play with you or invite you to play with them or their group. So taking turns is really important when we are playing with things. And Tomorrow, we're going to talk about taking turns. It's also important in conversation. And I should have done this social story that we're going to do tomorrow when we're in our theme on conversations. But this kind of links with it because we learned about taking turns playing today. So we're going to learn about taking turns in a conversation tomorrow. So taking turns is important in a lot of parts of our lives. And so, as usual, I will put the story we talked about today on our Google Slides with some pictures for you to have, and then I will post it on our Google Classroom. So this concludes our morning meeting for Wednesday, but I want to remind you that we have our class Zoom chat tomorrow. So tomorrow's Thursday, so every Tuesday and Thursday we will have our class Zoom chat at 11. Okay, so I hope that I see most of you there at 11 tomorrow. And remember, I'm going to be posting the link to be able to join our meeting on our Google Classroom, so be on the lookout for that. Okay, I hope that you all have a wonderful Wednesday, and we will talk tomorrow.